Hey, thanks for joining me again this week for a weekly tip that can help you in living clean simply. And I mentioned last week that we were going to build from our tip last week into this week, and that is exactly what I want to do. And if you read the title to this week's tip, you might have gotten slightly nervous, like stop snacking? Like what is that about? And no, I'm not asking you to go on a diet plan where you starve yourself. I didn't say stop eating when you're hungry. That is a very different thing. And I'm not going to try to explain all the science or claim to be like an expert on this. But what I want to express to you today is that the last few decades of conventional wisdom when it comes to health have been really messed up. And it was good-intentioned people just getting it wrong. And that would be the low-fat fad, not, allowing ourselves to have good, healthy fats, the whole grain obsession, and sugar explosion in all of our food. And along with that came the tip that you should eat every 2 to 3 hours, and you should be eating 5 or 6 small meals a day instead of 3 full meals. The idea was that you would burn more fat, your body's blood sugar levels would stay more stable, which means you wouldn't have the crashes and you wouldn't have just the weight gain issues that come with blood sugar problems. And just to bring that to a complete head is that's all pretty much wrong. And if you want to read up on some studies, you can absolutely Google things like intermittent fasting. I have a link in this post to a site that kind of explains it. But basically what they have found is our bodies are not at their best when they're given small bits every few hours and they're burning it off and then getting hungry again and then burning it off and then getting hungry again. Plus, as humans, we don't tend to make awesome choices all those times, and when we're always feeling hungry again, you end up kind of just being like, blah, a lot of the time. Or the choices that you make, it's hard to cook 5 or 6 meals a day that are going to be good for you, and so it can get really hard to actually eat well. And I think they've found people tend to have more sugar and more grains when they're doing that, because they're grabbing pretzels, they're grabbing granola bars, they're grabbing another piece of fruit and another piece of fruit, and just things that do not really set our bodies up for optimal health. So what I want to encourage you to try this week is something that I began working on a year ago, and it's been a really great experience. It is a bit of a mental shift to go from thinking I'll eat a little bit and then I'll eat a little bit and a little bit and I'll eat a little bit more. It's different when you are not when you shift that, but it's been very satisfying, and I feel like my body has stabilized so much more and limited a lot of those cravings and things like that. So I want to encourage you to give this a try, and just when you eat, starting with your first meal in the morning, make sure, like we talked about last time, you have good fat in every meal, some protein in there, not sugar, and not a lot of grains. There's mixed information, but not a lot. It shouldn't be grain heavy if you're going to have some of those. So good vegetables, fats, and protein. Eat that. Eat a satisfying amount, not a snack, but a good satisfying meal that's nutrient dense, and then see how long your body can go before it truly is hungry. Spread it a little. See if you can go 3 or 4 hours. And then when you eat again, when you're like, okay, I am hungry, my body is ready, do it again. Eat something, sustaining and nutrient dense, fat and protein, and then see how long you can go. You will probably be surprised how quickly your body will get used to burning better nutrients. It lasts longer, you feel more stable, you don't feel hungry all the time, and you'll probably get to where you can do maybe 3 straight meals a day. And the mental adjustment takes just a little bit to just kind of shift over, and sometimes our bodies are used to constant inflow, and so your body in the first day or 2 might give you a hunger cue, but really try to pay attention and just see if you can stretch it a little further. If you normally eat every 2 or 3 hours, can you go 3 to 3.5? 3.5 to 4. And we're not talking about being starving. We're talking about just training your body to use and burn the nutrients that it really has. And they've found a lot better fat loss, a lot better stability of blood sugar, which is avoiding diabetes and all the inflammation and chronic issues that can come when your body is too messed up with all of that. And all that to say, I would love for you to experiment with this a little bit this week. See what happens, see how you feel. And just to help you with that, I did include this week a smoothie recipe, one that I love to make in the afternoon. It gets me between lunch and dinner really well. It hits that just point in the day where I really start wanting something sweet, something rich, and it helps to satisfy me so that I can do dinner at 6:30 or so and I'm fine. I'm not hangry or going nuts. So give it a try. I'd love to hear what you think, how it works, and let's keep working towards clean living and life of optimal health.